Airbnb host charged me extra, so I invited 20 friends. And trust me, this is the wildest vacation rental revenge you'll ever hear. You won't believe how fast things went from chill vacation vibes to absolute chaos. I had just driven 5 hours to this beach town. The sun was perfect, my playlist had been fired the whole way, and I was ready for a weekend of peace and quiet. But the moment I met the host, I knew this trip was about to get complicated. "Oh, you booked through that discount link? Yeah, there's actually a cleaning fee, a security deposit, and a mandatory amenities charge." I was like, "Excuse me?" They literally doubled my cost right there. And the worst part, their amenities were a broken coffee machine and a pool that looked like a swamp. So I'm sitting on this dusty couch, sipping overpriced instant coffee, and an evil little thought hits me. What if I got my money's worth in the most creative way possible? I texted the group chat. "Free beach weekend. Bring snacks. Bring friends. Bring everyone." 3 hours later, the driveway was full. People kept showing up in twos and threes, dragging coolers, bags of chips, and portable speakers. By the time the sun was going down, I had counted at least 20 people. I stopped counting after that because more kept arriving. The house was buzzing with life. The kitchen was packed, everyone laughing and talking over each other as they unpacked snacks and drinks. Someone found a dusty grill out back and decided to fire it up. Burgers and corn were cooking within the hour. People I hadn't seen since college were suddenly sitting on the counter, catching me up on their lives like we'd never skipped a beat. Inside, someone discovered a karaoke machine shoved in the corner of the living room. It barely worked, but that didn't stop anyone. By nightfall, we were doing group sing-alongs, badly but passionately. The entire vibe flipped. What had started as a rip-off vacation was turning into the best weekend of the year. Even the neighbors didn't complain. In fact, a few wandered over after hearing the noise. They asked what was going on, and instead of being annoyed, they stayed. They grabbed plates, joined conversations, and before I knew it, party. Everything was going perfectly until there was a knock at the door. The music stopped immediately. Everyone froze. I opened the door, and there stood the host, looking completely overwhelmed. "This is supposed to be a 2-person rental," they said flatly, glancing past me at the 20-plus people crowded inside. I smiled and shrugged. "Don't worry, everyone chipped in for your amenities fee." They stared at me for a long second, clearly trying to decide whether to kick us all out or just let it go. Finally, they sighed and said, "Keep the noise down, please," before turning and leaving. As soon as the door closed, the house erupted in laughter. Someone turned the music back on, louder this time. The host had given us the green light by not throwing us out, and we all knew it.
The second the door closed behind the host, everyone just looked at me. For half a second, there was silence. Then someone said, "So, what now?" I grinned. Now? Now we make this worth every single extra dollar they charged me. That was all it took. People exploded into motion. The speakers went back on, but this time, someone hooked up a playlist that felt like an actual DJ set. The music burst through the house, and the living room turned into a dance floor. A few people even moved the couch to make space. Out back, the grill was going again. Someone pulled out a bag of shrimp, someone else found marshmallows, and before long, it was a full cookout. I swear, every time I turned around, there was a new person arriving. Friends of friends showed up after hearing we had a free beach house for the weekend. I didn't care. The more, the merrier. The neighbors came back too. One guy brought a bucket of fresh oysters. Another brought a cooler full of local beer. It felt like the entire street had been invited. The tension for earlier melted away, and it became a neighborhood event. And then there was the pool. When I first got there, it looked like a science experiment gone wrong. But one of my friends happens to be a mechanical engineer, and another works at a pool supply store. Together, they basically staged a rescue operation. They unclogged the filter, fished out the leaves, balanced the chemicals, and by midnight, that pool was glowing like a hotel resort. People started jumping in fully clothed. Shoes, jeans, dresses, no one cared. Someone even set up their phone to film slow-motion dives. The yard was lit up with glow sticks and fun flashlights, and the whole scene looked like a music video. Inside, people were playing Uno and arguing about the rules. Someone got way too competitive and accused everyone of cheating. Another group started charades in the corner. Someone found a Bluetooth speaker and started singing karaoke from the back porch. It was chaos, but it was the good kind of chaos. And the entire time, I kept thinking, this is exactly what I paid for. Morning came way too quickly. I think I got maybe 3 hours of sleep before I woke up to see people sprawled out everywhere. Couches, beanbags, even on the floor with throw pillows. The house looked like a disaster zone. Cops everywhere, sticky counters, wet footprints all over the tile, well-long sock hanging off the ceiling fan. But as soon as everyone started waking up, we went into cleanup mode. And this is where my friends really proved they were MVPs. People got brooms, others wiped counters, someone vacuumed, someone washed every single dish. We even washed the towels and put them back neatly. Someone went out and bought air fresheners just to make sure the place didn't smell like a party house. One of my friends who does woodworking took the wobbly chair apart, tightened the screws, and made it sturdy again. Another patched up a loose screen door that had been bugging me since I got there. By noon, the house was spotless, cleaner than when I first checked in. Honestly, if the host had walked in right then, they might have asked me to stay longer, just because we improved the property. Before leaving, we left a gift basket on the counter. Snacks, a bottle of wine, a handwritten note thanking them for the unforgettable weekend, and a brand new coffee maker to replace the broken one they had tried to charge me for. Petty, but polite. We packed up, said our goodbyes, and one by one, cars pulled out of the driveway until it was just me standing there. The house was quiet again, and I actually felt a little sad. A few days later, I got an email notification from Airbnb. My security deposit had been fully refunded. No deductions, not even for excessive cleaning. Then came the review from the host. Great guest, very social. House was spotless. I laughed for 5 straight minutes. Very social? That was their way of politely saying these guys threw the biggest party our rental house has ever seen. I left them a nice review too. 5 stars. Because hey, technically, I did have a great time. And to their credit, they didn't try to scam me on the deposit, even after the weekend we had. Looking back, that weekend is legendary in my friend group. People still bring it up like it was a reunion. Someone even made a group chat called Revenge Getaway Squad, where they keep dropping suggestions for the next destination. And honestly, I think I started something. The idea that instead of getting mad and letting someone ruin your tip, you just flip it and make it unforgettable. Was it a little petty? Sure. But was it satisfying? Oh, absolutely. I went there expecting a quiet, overpriced weekend alone. I left with memories, inside jokes, and 100 hilarious photos of my friends in a pool that wasn't even supposed to be working. So yes, the Airbnb host charged me extra. But I got every penny's worth and then some.